Alright guys, welcome to my first presentation here on YouTube, to my first video with some kind of informations. I picked FVG gaps for the first video because FVG gaps are the most important confluence in my strategy, the MTH strategy, manipulate them hoes strategy. So FVG gaps by Summerson, aka this is a problem. By Summerson, aka Big Funded Max OG. Alright. Fuck that. So, quick little overview. So, how does a FVG gap look like? I'm gonna teach y'all what a FVG gap is with a pretty good example created by myself, no one other. How to use a FVG gap and how not to use a FVG gap, and to make sure y'all are listening, a quick little quiz at the end. Alright. So, how does a FVG gap look like? A FVG gap, first of all, the high or the low of the first candle cannot touch with the high or the low of the third candle. So in this bullish FVG gap example, we have the first candle right here, and this is the high of the first candle, and this is the third candle, and this is the low of the third candle. And these two, they don't touch, they don't meet inside of this, in the side of the second candle. There is a gap inside of the second candle, which is called a FVG gap, liquidity void, an imbalance, whatever you want to call it, it's basically all the same. So yes, this space in between this low and this high is called a FVG gap. Same for a bearish FVG gap, we have the low of the first candle and the high of the third candle, and they don't meet somewhere in here, which creates the space. Basically, I marked it out over here, creates the space called the FVG gap. So I marked it out here. So this gray box right here, this is the FVG gap in this case. So what is a FVG gap? With an example. So a FVG gap, first of all, is a 3 candlestick pattern. So you need 3 candlesticks in order to form a FVG gap. Otherwise, it's not a FVG gap. A FVG gap is basically just an imbalance in price action. Imbalance in price action. If market moves too fast, orders can't get filled, and we get this like imbalance in bullish. For bullish FVG gap, we have this imbalance. We have way more buyers than sellers, which creates this bullish FVG gap. And if we have way more sellers, way more people who sell than buy, we get the bearish FVG gap. Yes, size and color does not matter on the charts though, only on the charts though. So yes, it doesn't matter if this candle is black, this candle is white, and this candle is black. We still have this FVG gap here, as well as here. This candle is black, both of them are white. As long as we have this gap here, as you can see, as long as we have this gap, the FVG gap is valid. And the same over here, black, white, white, this FVG gap is valid. So a bullish FVG gaps lacks sell orders. So this FVG gaps, it lacks sell orders, way more buyers than sellers, and a FVG gap, I don't have an example here, but then a FVG gap, a bearish FVG gap lacks buy orders. Basically the same, just to the other side. And most important is a FVG gap is a continuation confluence, not a reversal confluence. We use FVG gaps in order to kind of get an idea where market is going, and FVG gaps are used for retracement, not for reversals. So I said example, so I'm gonna give you an example. Let me pull out my Picasso pencil. So balance price action moves like this. You see, zack, zack, all slow, balanced, and at the end of the day, there is no gap. We have balanced circle, a balanced price action. Okay, an imbalanced fair value gap though, the market moves like that. Zack, 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 zack. So imagine. Wait till I just. I'm try to stay inside of the circle. We do something like this. We move way faster, okay? We move way faster. Zack. Just imagine I'm in the circle still. Way faster. Zack, zack. I'm here. This. And you see what I did here? This here. You created a gap. Market moves too fast to fill all the space. I did this. I swiped way too fast to fill this gap, so I stumbled over it. And what I have to do now, once I filled everything here, I have to come back and fill this fair value gap in order to keep going. Wait, it would be better if I'm gonna do something like this. So just imagine this. I am doing this. So I have this gap now here, okay? In order to fill this, I want to come back first of all to fill this gap, so I can continue to fill this here. Yeah, I get what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna do it again. If you already get it, you can skip. So balance price action moves like that. Oh shit. Smooth, no gaps, no nothing. Imbalanced price action where either buyers or sellers are, what is this word called? More? Moves like that. Zack, zack. Way faster, you know, way faster. And we stumble upon this. Oh, well, you can't see my finger. And we stumble over this gap here, okay? So in order to keep going and fill this whole gap here, I want to come back, fill this gap. This gap here represents the fair value gap. I want to come back, fill this, in order to keep going, to keep continue with the trend. You know what I'm saying? Downtrend, we came from here, create this gap, zack, retracement, this gap represented the fair value gap, and then we can continue drawing out the circle. Yeah, you get what I'm trying to say? Please, if not, just write it down. I think, by the way, PA means price action. I think that's a pretty good example. I hope so. But are you taking notes though? Are you taking notes though? Is the question. I'm just saying, remember the quiz. Remember the quiz. So how to use a fair value gap? As we know, fair value gap is basically an imbalance in the market. As I just showed you. As I showed, market often comes back to the gap I created because I was too fast. Come back to balance out the imbalance in order to continue with the trend, to continue drawing out the circle, you know? So, first of all, fair value gaps, you can use fair value gaps to understand where market is going. We get higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, and the higher lows in an uptrend are basically, or most of the time, retracement into a fair value gap. Most of the time, not always, but you can get an idea where market wants to go through a fair value gap. As well, it's the same, but you can also use them for a better entry in order to just bam the market. Whatever, the market dumps, you want to take shorts, you think, fuck, damn, I missed my trade. Oh, hell nah, there's a fair value gap. Fair value gap right here, market here. Retracement, because way more sell orders. In order to keep going, we have to fill this imbalance, you know what I'm saying? Fill this imbalance, so sell orders, there's a lag here. It's a lack of buy orders. What the market is doing? We buy back into this fair value gap. Now we bought back into this fair value gap. Now the market makers have enough orders to keep the trend going, to keep price going down. Continuation. It's all, you know how it's trying to make sense? How it all makes sense in your head now. So, and you can use them for stop loss and take profit to kind of protect yourself in the worst case. So overall, though, fair value gaps are used for retracement in any kind. So, how not to use a fair value gap? Purely fair value gap is ass. You need more conferences. Fair value gap without context is nothing. So imagine you want to build a house, alright? And the fair value gap is just kinda like a brick, little brick. A brick without anything, you can't do anything without it. With it. The bricks itself, you can't do anything. But if you have more bricks, like fair value gap, liquidity sweep, higher time frame bias, all of this bricks you stack on top of each other, right risk management, right mindset, all of this, and you slowly get like a wall, you know what I'm saying? And you can build a house off of that. Damn, I am pretty like Beethoven, Kant, all of them, and Kant as trading. So for what I'm trying to say, without context, a fair value gap is nothing. You need bias, you need whatever. I don't want to tell you what you need, but purely a fair value gap, you can't trade purely a fair value gap. You can see if fair value gaps are on the market all of the time. You have to keep in mind trend, you have to keep in mind where liquidity is, where market wants to go. You could be in an 1 hour downtrend, 15 minute downtrend, alright? You can go on the 1 minute and see a whole lot of bullish fair value gaps, alright? So you'd say, okay, I'm a long this shit because we have bullish fair value gaps, we retrace into that, I should win, right? So, but if you scale up on the 50 minute, you see this big ass fucking bearish candle, and you are in the 15 minute bullish candle, who's just going to retrace to fill this fair value gap on the higher time frame, you know? To fill this fair value gap on the higher time frame in order to keep dumping you. So yes, context is important. And quiz for the quiz, you. Fair value gap consists of 6 to 7 candles. Is that right or is that wrong? I'll give you all time to think. Correct. That is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. Fair value gap is balanced price action. Balanced. Also wrong. Right. Fair value gap is imbalanced price action. We want to balance it out. Do you see color or candles? Be honest. Do you see color or candles? Does the color really matter? Or the size? No! Correct. Yeah, so you don't see color or candles. Yeah, you just see candles. You don't see color or size. I can't really. I'll do both. Liquidity void, imbalance, and fair value gaps are all the same. Yes. Yes, they are all the same. Just different words. Alright. So thank you for your attention. I really hope. I think I made it pretty clear. Yes, I think I made it pretty clear. We could spot some candles on the live market. Now we don't. So, yes. Quick summary. Fair value gap consists of 3 candles. The gap in between the first and the third candle is called the fair value gap. Size and color does not matter. Bullish fair value gaps like sell orders. Bearish fair value gaps like buy orders. We already did that. How to use it? We use them to understand where market is going, maybe to get a better entry, but overall just to understand where market is going, I think. How not to use it? Don't use it without any other confluence or without any other context. Yeah, basically the same. Alright, appreciate y'all for watching my vid. Uh, yes, I'll see you.